As a CFO, a lot of people think you're just looking at the accounting side of things. CFO really encompasses both the forward-looking and the backward-looking finance of the company, and really it's the right hand of the CEO. CEO is going to be going out and making decisions on where to lead the company, and those decisions are rooted in where the most profitability is. So if I cannot give the right data to my CEO, he will not have the right data to lead the company at the end of the day. So in addition to just backward-looking data that is ran through a bunch of accountants, you also need to be able to project and forecast where things are going. A lot of people think that the forward-looking information is dealt with another team, but it's really under the CFO and the finance team to provide that info. When we started the company, it was really Zach, Robert, and I who looked at the company and just kind of said, okay, here's the organization chart of how we are going to operate this firm that we have. The first few deals that we acquired, I was the asset manager slash financial controller slash investor relations manager, and making sure that from a corporate and property perspective, any stakeholders were aware of what's happening at the site, as well as the business plan getting executed and tracking metrics and KPIs on return on investment on all the units we were renovating. In order to grow into like a national firm, we had to make sure our processes and operations were pretty succinct and in control. We had to basically make sure that we hired the right individuals in that org chart who could basically copy and paste what we were doing here on 2 deals a year onto 12 to 16 deals a year. I think the reason we've been so successful has been we've filled the right seats with the right people and given them processes and the autonomy to adjust those processes so that we can grow into different markets and make sure that wheels aren't flying off the car, so to speak. I think in order to make sure the company stays financially secure and efficient, we want to make sure we have the right processes, right systems in place so that as we grow, things don't get out of hand. Any systems that we've implemented to date, it's all been to make sure that it's accretive to our value add plans that we take on. So Acumat is a good example. Before we integrated that software, all of the units that we were renovating had to be individually coded into the system to make sure we're going to spend X amount here, and here's the invoices that need to go out, here's the vendors that need to get paid. A lot of manual work. With Acumatica, a lot of that has been automated, where now you can upload 60 units that need to be renovated, and it just kind of quickly just does it all like on a one-click situations. When we're hiring individuals to join the firm, the number one and most critical item is make sure they're a good fit from a core value perspective. You can't teach people core values, and if they don't agree with what core values you have, most likely they're not going to work out. You can only pretend for so long. If you are pretending, it's burning you out, it's burning out the company, everyone's unhappy. Core value fit is the number one item. People have different skill sets, obviously, so you want to make sure the skill sets are a match for the position you're hiring for. But once those two items fit, that's when we move forward to hiring somebody. As a CFO, I think the most challenging aspect is trying to be aggressive with growth, as well as trying to be defensive when it comes to not stretching ourselves out too thin. I have to play with that every single day. I obviously want to be, as aggressive as I can be on deals that we want to buy, but at the same time, we don't want to make mistakes, right? I have to play my own devil's advocate. So every time we underwrite a deal, I have to make sure that, hey, we're being as aggressive as possible on things that we can be aggressive on. At the same time, we're trying to sensitize the returns and sensitize like what do the worst case scenarios most likely look like, and then how do we counter those? So it's almost like a yin and yang of taking on new deals and making sure that as you're underwriting deals, how is corporate going to be impacted positively, negatively, etc., based on deals that we take on. I think one of the most rewarding aspects of being a CFO at Rise48 is you get to watch how the deals end up performing from a very close eye, essentially. So I really get to see a deal go from the day that we acquired it to the day we sold it and all the metrics in between. I like numbers, I like KPIs, and I like to look at, hey, we bought it at X, now it's at X squared, essentially. So I think that's one of the most rewarding aspects, is really turning around a property and helping the tenants in place and turning a community around as much as we can and being able to offer good returns to investors.